Hey guys, it's Sandro here, and today's video is a look at 10 modifications / accessories I've done to my 2019 Honda Monkey. It's been ages since I've done a video on the Monkey, so I thought this could be a good one just to go through the personalization and mods I've done to it since buying it almost 3 years ago, to make the bike a little nicer to ride and own in my opinion, but also show a little restraint in not changing the bike into something unrecognizable. I've also got lots of installation videos on this channel with these mods, if you want more of a step-by-step in-depth look. So let's get to it with number 1 and perhaps the most important modification, which is the mirror extenders. Now if you're a little less broad in the shoulders or a little shorter, this probably isn't a necessary mod. But I couldn't see anything past my shoulders without leaning to one side and then the other, and that's no great way to ride or check your mirrors, which should just be a quick glance. The mirror extenders by MC Motor Parts are super easy to install, fit the bike perfectly, look great, and since I made that original install video, you can now also get them with a Monkey logo print on the side and in just about any color. So although this was the cheapest mod I did, it was also just about the most important one for safety reasons. Modification number 2 was the Öhlins STX 36 rear shock upgrade. Now just like the mirror extenders, this was largely another safety upgrade. In the original install video I did on the shocks, you could see that my wife, who's half my weight, was still bottoming out the shocks, which in my opinion are just way too soft even for smaller riders. And for me, the bike just didn't feel safe, tire traction and bike stability was poor, especially over bumps and cornering, and just didn't inspire any road holding confidence, so those original shocks just had to go. I love these Öhlins shocks, they have loads of adjustments for any size rider and riding style, and the bonus part is that they also look fantastic. Yes, they are quite expensive, and yes, you can find good, cheaper alternatives, but I'm super happy with my choice here and I go for them again in an instant. Modification number 3 is the Yoshimura RS3 full exhaust upgrade. Out of all the modifications, this is perhaps the most impactful from a smile and enjoyment meter rating. It just transforms the whole sound of the bike into a deeper, richer and brilliant sound that just makes me smile every time I turn the engine over. Now, although I also like the look of the original stock chrome exhaust shield, I love the 80s retro styling of the RS3 and I think it 100% suits the bike and does away with the biggest and bulkiest stock underbike catalytic converter I've ever seen on such a tiny bike. Is it loud? Yes, absolutely. But I did a nice thing for my neighbours and put the optional decibel killer insert, which seems to retain the same nice note but lowers the loudness to a more friendly level. Modification number 4 is the man-in-the-box DNA air intake upgrade. Once again guys, you can have a look at the install video to guide you through that installation, but overall this is another fantastic modification in my opinion. It definitely adds a little nicer sound to the way the bike more aggressively sucks the air in and out through the exhaust, gives the engine response a touch more pep and definitely allows the bike to breathe much easier with far less restriction. Most of all, it does away with that monstrous, oversized OEM airbox that's just a little ridiculous on such a small bike. I also love the clean look of the install and the yellow showpiece air filter that's been specifically made for this bike, with a great fit and finish, and to top it all off, it's also very affordable and well priced. Modification number 5 is the DH Motoring ECU Stage 1 Flash. Now you can do an exhaust upgrade without the need to retune the fuel and air mix ratios. But once you upgrade the air intake flow, the engine, which is probably already running on the lean side, will just run too lean, meaning that a remap or a fuel regulator module is pretty much needed. But apart from that, I can say that without a doubt, the Stage 1 tune has definitely made better use of the exhaust and air intake upgrades to give the bike a little extra kick. I'd say acceleration in the mid to high rev zone is quicker and more responsive, and the top speed increased by a good 10 km an hour based on the stock configuration. Is it a head-snapping difference? No, but it's definitely noticeable and nice to have on a small 125cc single thumper. Modification number 6 was the OEM Honda rear luggage rack. Now, as many of you may know, this was the only genuine Honda accessory available for the Monkey, and about a year after its release, Honda discontinued it because apparently its load capacity was overrated by Honda. Honestly guys, I'm not carrying anything of significant weight on that rack, nor do I intend to. It's like the smallest bike rack I've ever seen in my life, and if you load it up, which I don't even know how you do that with such a small surface area, or try to seat a passenger on it, that's on you as far as I'm concerned. I love the way it looks, it's like the cutest thing, and I'm pretty sure that in the future these rare, discontinued OEM Honda racks will be sought after by collectors in the future. Modification number 7 is the Yoshimura rear fender Eliminator. When you look at the bike in stock form, it's pretty much all color-coded metal trims and chrome. And then you have this large black plastic rear fender extender that I'd bet anything on that it was pretty much an afterthought to meet some regulations somewhere. In other words, it just never looked right to me, or that Honda really intended on having it from the start. The Yoshimura fender Eliminator is exactly that. It removes that questionable plastic and provides a mounting spot for a light and the number plate with no bells or whistles, which I love. It's just very clean, neat, and I think improves the look of the bike in a way that Honda would have liked to have made, bureaucratic regulations aside. Modification number 8 is the Takagawa Takomida. Being able to see rev positions, not only on bikes but also in cars, is something I think just adds to the enjoyment of the whole driving or riding experience. So no, I don't think it's a necessary thing because you can hear and feel when you need to change up or down. But I 100% think that, at least for me, it adds to the riding experience and enjoyment of watching that tacho needle swipe up and down. The bonus is that it also has a time display and ambient temperature display, both of which the stock Monkey display hasn't. Now there's also full replacement displays for the Monkey that have rev meters, time, and even gear indicators, but how anyone could replace the original display with those super cute blinking monkey eyes at startup is beyond me. I just couldn't do it. Modification number 9 was a Ctek easy access battery tether for charging. I know, the battery will probably stay charged enough to turn over for up to a month, and if you regularly ride the bike, you shouldn't need to trickle charge it, right? Well, that was all good and true until COVID restrictions hit and riding for recreational purposes was banned for the best part of 2 years. So my poor Monkey was largely stalled over that period, though I still made sure to run the engine at least once or twice a month, and this convenient battery tether made sure I didn't have to jump or degrade the battery and saved me the hassle of removing the seat to juice the battery up. Last but not least, and modification number 10 is the Woodcraft axle sliders. Now in truth, I wasn't looking for a set of axle sliders when I bought these, but they were the last set on a website at the time and going for less than half the price, so I thought, why not? Better to have them and not need them than something happen and the bike falls, catches and kicks up in a bad scenario. I'm happy to report I've never had to test them out, but they're barely noticeable, which is also something I love about them, and should also prevent any careless scratches on the front forks or rear swing arms going through garage doorways, or if the bike should fall, which again is a long shot since the monkey weighs next to nothing. So that's it guys, 10 mods / accessories on this little stunning and super fun Honda Monkey. What I also like about all these mods is that there's no permanent customization that's been done, meaning that if in the future I do want to return the bike back to 100% stock, I still have all the original parts and nothing has been permanently altered. I actually did all these mods almost 2 years ago and I haven't done anything since because for me, I sorted out what wasn't working well, what didn't look quite right, and was then super happy with the result, as I loved 90% of what Honda did here and it was just the last 10% that needed a little attention to boost my enjoyment of this little gem of a bike from a 9 to a solid 10. I think I'll leave it there guys, and if you enjoyed this video and would like to say thanks and help support future content, you can do so by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/ccad, in which I'll have a link to in the description box, and thank you everyone for the support so far. As always, I really hope you guys enjoyed and found this video useful. Please share it with others, give it a like and comment below to show support for this content, and I'll see you guys soon.